The world of modern celebrity culture is driven by an intricate web of subtle signals, digital crumbs, and high-stakes social media choreography that millions of observers analyze down to the absolute last pixel. In an era where a single tap on a screen can launch 1,000 internet theories, the boundaries between a simple casual post and a calculated public statement have become completely blurred. Fans no longer just consume media. They investigate it like seasoned detectives, looking for hidden patterns, subliminal messages, and unspoken alliances in every single photograph uploaded by their favorite artists. This constant, hyper-focused scrutiny creates a unique atmosphere where even the most innocent digital gesture can suddenly ignite a massive firestorm of speculation across global online communities. When you are operating within the inner orbit of the most influential pop icons on the planet, there is absolutely no such thing as a pure coincidence. Every choice of imagery, every timing sequence, and every lack of an explicit explanation is viewed through a lens of intense curiosity, turning ordinary social media platforms into complex battlegrounds of interpretation. Before we dive deep into the fascinating layers of this unfolding digital mystery and unravel the unexpected connections that have captivated the entire internet, take a quick moment to subscribe to our channel so you never miss an insider update on the stories shaping contemporary pop culture. To truly understand how a single internet upload can send shockwaves through an entire international fanbase, one must first appreciate the sheer scale of the relationships and the massive cultural influence shared by the individuals involved in this situation. The modern entertainment landscape is held together by tightly knit circles of creators, performers, and close confidants who frequently collaborate, share major life milestones, and support each other on the world's biggest stages. Within these elite artistic communities, bonds are forged through shared experiences, late-night studio sessions, and the unique mutual understanding of what it means to live life under the blinding, constant glare of public attention. For a rising star navigating this rarefied air, entering the inner circle of an established global icon is both an extraordinary professional milestone and a profound personal transformation. It places them at the absolute epicenter of cultural relevance, where their artistry is celebrated by millions and their personal lives become inextricably linked with the grand narrative of contemporary music history. This deep interconnectedness means that any action taken by a member of this exclusive circle carries an immense amount of weight, echoing far beyond their immediate social circle and resonating deeply with a global audience that hangs on every single word, lyric. An artistic choice, the atmosphere surrounding major celebrity gatherings is always charged with an undeniable sense of magic, exclusivity, and intense public fascination as the world watches standard historical moments unfold in real time. These high-profile events bring together an unparalleled assembly of talent, beauty, and cultural power, creating an environment where every single detail is meticulously observed by paparazzi, journalists, and dedicated fans worldwide. The sheer glamour of these occasions is enough to dominate the global conversation for days, as iconic figures step out in breathtaking fashion pieces, celebrating love, success, and the enduring power of deep personal connections. For the artists in attendance, these gatherings represent a rare moment of unity and celebration, away from the grueling demands of their hectic touring schedules and creative commitments. Yet, even amidst the joy and splendor of such monumental celebrations, the digital world remains active, waiting to capture any glimpse of the behind-the-scenes magic. The contrast between the public grandeur of a star-studded event and the deeply personal, often cryptic nature of individual social media reflections creates a fascinating tension that keeps audiences completely spellbound. Eagerly anticipating how these larger-than-life moments will be archived and shared by those who were actually in the room, it is precisely within this highly charged environment of glitz, glamour, and intense public scrutiny that a seemingly ordinary digital update can suddenly transform into a major source of widespread confusion and heated debate. When a young, incredibly talented singer-songwriter who has been rapidly ascending the ranks of the music industry decides to share a collection of moments from her life, her rapidly growing audience expects a standard glimpse into her glamorous world. Having spent months performing in front of stadium-sized crowds and collaborating with the biggest names in the business, her digital presence has become a vital hub for fans seeking a deeper connection to her journey. Her aesthetic is typically a carefully curated blend of artistic vulnerability, behind-the-scenes glimpses of her creative process, and stunning fashion statements that reflect her evolving personal style. On a weekend defined by a massive historic celebration that drew the attention of the entire entertainment world, her followers were naturally watching her profile with bated breath, expecting a joyous tribute or a straightforward documentation of her participation in a truly unforgettable event. Instead of a conventional celebratory post, what appeared on her feed was a fascinatingly complex, eclectic, and deeply mysterious collection of images that left even her most dedicated supporters completely puzzled. The upload featured a striking contrast of visual elements, blending breathtaking shots of high fashion with seemingly random archival photographs and abstract cinematic imagery. At first glance, the post appeared to be a celebration of an incredible sparkling red sequin gown that perfectly captured the radiant, high-energy atmosphere of a major elite gathering. Images of the stunning dress shimmering in the warm sunlight from the backseat of a car suggested a classic, elegant behind-the-scenes narrative that fans could easily understand and admire. This beautiful fashion showcase was intermingled with nostalgic throwback photos from her childhood and artistic, stylized shots related to her musical projects, creating a rich tapestry of personal history and current success. However, buried deep within this seemingly harmless carousel of memories was a single, highly specific cinematic screenshot that felt entirely out of place, instantly shifting the tone of the post from a standard fashion update to an absolute riddle. This particular image did not feature the singer herself, nor did it showcase any aspect of her music, her childhood, or the glamorous event she had just attended. Instead, it was a freeze frame from a well-known period drama film from several years ago, capturing a moment of intense, chaotic physical conflict between two characters in a dense forest setting. To the untrained eye, it might have looked like a random piece of cinematic appreciation or an artsy, edgy visual insert designed to break up the aesthetic flow of the fashion photographs. But for the hyper-vigilant online communities who follow the intricate personal histories of the pop music elite, this specific image choice was anything but random. It was a visual spark dropped directly into a highly flammable field of fan loyalty, history, and deep emotional investment. The absence of any written explanation, caption, or context from the singer only amplified the mystery, creating a deafening silence that practically begged her followers to start connecting the dots. In the blink of an eye, the comment section transformed from a space of praise for her stunning appearance into a chaotic arena of speculation, concern, and growing tension. As fans began to realize the potential implications of this cryptic digital choice, the immediate reaction to this mysterious digital upload spread across the internet with an unprecedented level of speed and intensity. As thousands of dedicated observers rushed to decode the exact nature of the cinematic screenshot that had been so quietly inserted into the fashion carousel, it did not take long for the collective intelligence of the online community to identify the precise origin of the image, tracing it back to a highly acclaimed piece of cinema from the year 2018. The film in question, a critically lauded historical dark comedy titled The Favorite, features an intense, highly stylized aesthetic and a complex narrative centered around power struggles, betrayal, and volatile human relationships. The specific scene captured in the singer's post depicts a raw, aggressive physical altercation taking place within a dense, isolated woodland area. In this memorable sequence, the character portrayed by Academy Award-winning actress Emma Stone is shown engaging in a fierce, chaotic struggle with another character, delivering a physical beatdown that stands out as one of the most memorable and dramatic moments of the entire movie. While the visual angle of the freeze frame makes it impossible to see the actor's face clearly as his character dives toward the ground, his identity within the context of the film is undeniable. He is none other than a prominent British actor who happened to spend over 6 years in a deeply private, closely followed relationship with the global pop icon whose massive wedding had just taken place that very weekend. The realization that an image featuring this specific individual had been included in a post displaying the exact dress worn to the P-icon's wedding sent shockwaves through the community, instantly elevating the tension to a boiling point. For the hyper-dedicated fanbase known worldwide for their intense loyalty and unparalleled protective instincts over their favorite superstar, this choice of imagery felt like a direct, confusing, and potentially provocative move. The fact that Emma Stone herself was actually one of the high-profile guests in attendance at the star-studded Madison Square Garden wedding added another layer of bizarre coincidence to the situation, making the inclusion of the movie scene feel incredibly specific rather than accidental. Fans immediately began flooding the comment section with a mixture of disbelief, frustration, and outright anger. Trying to make sense of why a close friend and professional beneficiary of the superstar would share a picture involving her most famous ex-partner on the exact weekend she was celebrating her marriage to a beloved sports icon. The lack of a congratulatory message or any direct mention of the wedding in the singer's caption only added fuel to the fire, causing many supporters to view the post as a bizarre, disrespectful distraction from a joyful milestone. As the digital storm intensified, the comment section became a deeply divided battlefield of interpretation and emotional reactions. Many passionate fans did not hold back their feelings, openly labeling the photo choice as completely wild and deeply weird given the highly sensitive timing of the upload. For these observers, the personal history between the global icon and her former partner of 6 years is a sacred chapter of the past that should not be casually invoked, especially during a time meant for celebrating a new, highly publicized union. The sentiment that it was entirely inappropriate to post a picture connected to a prominent ex-partner while failing to publicly congratulate the bride was echoed by thousands of users who demanded an immediate explanation for the apparent lapse in social media etiquette. Some fans expressed deep disappointment, feeling that the young singer was biting the hand that fed her. Considering she had spent the past 2 consecutive years opening for the legendary Eras Tour and establishing herself as a true prodigy of the pop titan. The sense of protectiveness ran incredibly deep as the community tried to parse whether this was a subtle inside joke, a total misjudgment of internet optics, or a covert expression of some underlying friction within the inner circle. To fully understand why the internet reacted with such fierce emotion, it is essential to look back at the monumental history of the relationship between the global pop superstar and the British actor, which lasted from 2016 until their quiet separation in the spring of 2023. For over half a decade, their romance was a masterclass in celebrity privacy, intentionally shielded from the relentless glare of the media and the public eye. Unlike her previous high-profile relationships, which were often documented extensively by paparazzi and celebrated openly in the public sphere, this 6-year bond existed largely behind closed doors, in quiet London neighborhoods and secluded rental properties away from the world. The actor became a deeply influential figure in her life and creative journey, co-writing multiple critically acclaimed, Grammy-winning tracks under a pseudonym and serving as the primary muse for some of the most emotionally raw, introspective, and beautifully romantic music of her entire career. For the fans, he was viewed as a steady, calming anchor who provided a safe haven for the superstar during a period of intense personal and professional rebuilding, making their sudden split a deeply impactful event for the entire community. When news of their quiet breakup finally leaked to the public in April of 2023, it marked the definitive end of an era and left millions of fans mourning a relationship they had come to view as unbreakable. At the time of the split, representatives and inner circle sources rushed to assure the public that the separation was entirely amicable, emphasizing that there was absolutely no dramatic catalyst, no hidden scandal, and no bad blood between the former lovers. The narrative presented to the world was one of natural conclusion, with insiders stating that the relationship had simply run its course over time as their lives, career trajectories, and long-term personal goals naturally began to diverge. Despite these reassuring statements, the emotional weight of a 6-year partnership ending could not be easily erased, and the public continued to analyze subsequent creative releases for any hint of lingering heartbreak or unresolved tension. The actor's sudden, unexpected re-emergence on the singer's social media feed, even in the form of an obscure movie screenshot, effectively reopened a chapter of pop culture history that fans believed had been firmly closed and locked away, adding another layer of complexity and public interest to the entire situation. Is the fact that the British actor has recently made headlines for moving on with his own romantic life, signaling a fresh start far away from his past relationship. Just a week before this digital controversy erupted, paparazzi captured photographs of the 35-year-old actor sharing an affectionate, intimate moment with a rising 29-year-old star of an upcoming high-profile television series. The pair were spotted enjoying a relaxed afternoon in a beautiful London park, looking completely at ease in each other's company as they shared a kiss under the trees. Industry insiders and close sources quickly confirmed that the two have been casually dating for some time and are genuinely into each other, enjoying a connection built on mutual values and a shared approach to life. Described by friends as highly intellectual, deeply private, and incredibly laid-back individuals, The new couple seems to be a remarkably compatible match, allowing the actor to maintain the quiet, low-key lifestyle he has always fiercely protected and preferred. This context of romantic transition and moving forward makes the timing of the singer's cryptic social media upload feel even more charged with tension, as multiple personal timelines seem to collide on the exact same weekend. While the British actor is quietly building a new life in London, his former partner was celebrating her massive, star-studded wedding to a charismatic American football star in the heart of New York City, drawing the collective gaze of the entire world. In the middle of these seismic shifts stands a 26-year-old rising star, whose sudden choice to blend high fashion from the wedding with an aggressive cinematic image of the famous ex-partner created an undeniable friction that the internet simply could not ignore. The situation highlights the intense, volatile nature of modern celebrity circles, where personal history, professional loyalty, and digital expression are constantly clashing in front of a global audience that never sleeps and never forgets. To truly comprehend the profound confusion and defensive backlash generated by this digital incident, one must examine the extraordinary professional and personal bond that has developed between Gracie Abrams and Taylor Swift over the past several years. Far from being mere acquaintances who happened to operate within the same industry, their lives became deeply intertwined when Abrams was chosen to be a principal opening act for the monumental Eras Tour throughout its historic run in 2023 and 2024. For a rising 26-year-old singer-songwriter, spending months sharing stadium stages with one of the most successful artists in musical history was a definitive career-making opportunity, exposing her intimate indie pop sound to millions of hyper-loyal fans every single night. This grueling yet exhilarating journey built a profound sense of mutual respect and mentorship between the two women, transforming their professional arrangement into a genuine, high-profile friendship. Swift publicly championed Abrams' raw songwriting talent on numerous occasions, celebrating her artistic vulnerability and effectively welcoming her into the inner sanctum of her elite creative circle. This deep bond culminated in a highly publicized musical collaboration on the 2024 track titled Us, a standout song featured on Abrams' critically acclaimed second studio album, The Secret of Us. Given this extensive history of public support, artistic collaboration, and deep-seated loyalty, fans naturally expected Abrams to exhibit the utmost care, respect, and celebration during a weekend dedicated to Swift's massive, star-studded wedding to Travis Kelce at Madison Square Garden. When Abrams arrived at the legendary New York City venue wearing a stunning, shimmering red sequin gown with her short, brunette locks slicked back, she looked every bit the elegant, trusted confidant ready to honor a friend's romantic milestone. Yet, her subsequent choice to upload a social media carousel containing a cinematic freeze frame of Swift's ex-partner Joe Alwyn being physically struck in a scene from The Fey Fear struck many as an incomprehensible misstep. For a fanbase that views the inner circle as a fortress of absolute loyalty, the inclusion of an ex-partner, especially without any explicit context or celebratory message for the newlyweds, felt like a jarring breach of social contract. It forced millions of observers to question whether there was an underlying hidden narrative, an inside joke gone wrong, or a subtle manifestation of tension within a circle that prides itself on presenting a united front to the world. However, as the dust began to settle over the intense online debate, alternative perspectives began to emerge from cooler heads within the entertainment community, suggesting that the entire controversy might simply be a classic case of internet overanalysis. Close observers pointed out that Abrams' digital aesthetic has always been defined by an eclectic, artsy, and somewhat chaotic approach to storytelling, frequently blending high-fashion imagery with nostalgic childhood photographs, abstract film stills, and random snippets of her daily life. In this specific instance, the screenshot also prominently featured Emma Stone, a brilliant Academy Award-winning actress who happens to be a deeply cherished, lifelong friend of Taylor Swift and was also an honored guest at the Madison Square Garden wedding. From an objective standpoint, it is entirely possible that Abrams included the memorable 2018 film scene simply as a playful, cinematic nod to Stone's presence at the celebration, rather than a malicious or calculated reference to Alwyn. In the fast-paced, highly reactive ecosystem of modern social media, a single image meant to celebrate a shared cinematic memory can easily be misinterpreted when viewed through the hyper-protective lens of a global fan base that is constantly on high alert for potential slights. This fascinating incident serves as a powerful reminder of the unique, often treacherous landscape that modern artists must navigate when their personal lives and professional relationships are broadcast to a global audience. For figures like Gracie Abrams, Taylor Swift, and Joe Alwyn, the boundaries of private expression are constantly compressed by the collective imagination of millions of people who demand absolute clarity and unwavering loyalty at all times. Every digital footprint is treated as a permanent historical archive, and every choice of imagery is scrutinized for hidden codes, making it incredibly difficult to maintain a casual, authentic presence online. The massive firestorm surrounding a simple movie screenshot illustrates how easily public narratives can spin out of control, transforming a joyful weekend of wedding celebrations into a complex web of theories regarding past heartbreaks, current alliances, and unspoken friction. Ultimately, whether the post was a harmless artsy tribute to a brilliant film and a mutual friend or a more complex cryptic statement remains known only to the singer herself, leaving the rest of the world to watch, wonder, and analyze from afar. As the global music community continues to move forward, the enduring power of these artists' creative work remains the true anchor amidst the endless noise of online speculation. Taylor Swift's historic transition into a new chapter of her life, marked by her high-profile marriage to Kelsey, represents a monumental shift that will undoubtedly inspire future generations of listeners and shape the landscape of pop culture for years to come. Meanwhile, Joe Alwyn's quiet pursuit of a private life and a new romantic connection in London highlights the natural progression of human relationships, proving that life continues to unfold beautifully long after the public spotlight has shifted. For Gracie Abrams, this moment of intense internet scrutiny is a powerful testament to her rapid ascent into the highest echelons of cultural relevance, where even her most casual social media choices possess the immense power to captivate the entire world. In the grand theater of contemporary celebrity culture, the stories of these interconnected heroes will